Thank you, Ken Corlia. I'm pleased to update the House this afternoon. It is no secret that progress on the future partnership negotiations has been disappointing. The fourth round, which finished last Friday, did not yield any significant progress. The EU's approach to the talks is based on our published mandate, and that mandate is underpinned by the political declaration agreed by the EU and the UK last October. The political declaration sets out the shared ambitions of the UK and the EU for a comprehensive future partnership agreement, a partnership across a range of issues, including an FTA in goods with zero tariffs and quotas, a partnership with robust level playing field commitments that ensures open and fair competition and takes into account our economic connectedness and geographic proximity. It is disappointing to see that the UK distanced themselves from the declaration in areas such as fisheries and on level playing field commitments, on state aid, competition, social and employment standards, environment, climate change and relevant tax matters. Furthermore, the UK is unwilling to even discuss areas set out in the political declaration like foreign policy or development cooperation. The political declaration is not an EU document, nor is it some EU wish list. This is a document the UK negotiated with the EU, a document the British Government signed up to. The UK is saying that it's only seeking what the EU has given to other partners and therefore cannot accept the EU's approach on issues like level playing field, governance and fisheries. However, taken together, the UK's asks go considerably beyond precedent. In a number of their areas, their asks amount to maintaining some of the rights of the single market, but without the obligations membership brings. The EU has consistently recognised the UK's right to its own sovereignty. We accept that there will be healthy competition between the EU and the UK. However, it is in the interests of both sides that our future partnership is comprehensive, with strong commitments to prevent distortions of trade and unfair competitive advantages. We are a nation of traders. Irish companies export to over 160 countries. We're not afraid of robust competition, but trade should be open and should be fair. Openness and fairness is at the heart of our level playing field provisions. The EU is simply asking the UK to meet our shared commitment to uphold common high standards and to avoid dumping. Fishing is another area of importance for this House and members of this House. As a former Fisheries Minister, the Tánaiste very clearly understands how vital the sector is for these communities across the island. Minister Creed was one of a number of EU fisheries ministries who recently met Michel Barnier and reiterated their support for the mandate. While it's now unlikely that a fisheries agreement will be concluded by the 1st of July, the EU will continue to seek a sustainable and balanced agreement. I will continue engaging with UK ministers myself and the Tánaiste to convey these concerns and to stress the importance of moving ahead and now operationalising the protocol on Northern Ireland. Ken Corlia, we live in an uncertain world. I know many would wish to see the transition period extended, but in truth this is unlikely. Publicly and privately, the UK are saying no extension. Without the extension, the transition period ends in less than 7 months. I'm confident that the two sides can reach an agreement. However, getting there will require follow-through on the commitments made under the political declaration and the implementation of the withdrawal agreement. Everyone also needs to be aware that whatever the outcome of these talks, Ireland's trading relationship with the UK will change. Given the limited progress in negotiations to date and separately the uncertainty due to COVID-19, the Government will now intensify its Brexit preparedness work. We will base our approach on 2 scenarios. Firstly, a limited FTA in goods with an accompanying fisheries agreement. Secondly, a hard Brexit, essentially that there is no EU-UK trade deal. This is not about admitting defeat. This is about risk management. Ireland still supports the closest possible relationship between the EU and the UK, but we must be prepared. We continue to invest in the infrastructure necessary for the reintroduction of controls at our ports, at our airports. We are engaging with our partners to ensure the UK land bridge remains an effective route to market, and the Oireachtas will be asked to consider a new Brexit omnibus bill, most likely in the autumn. We will work with the business sector in preparation for new trading environments after the transition period ends. Regardless of any outcome, there will be a substantial impact for supply chains and for trade flows. We will provide supports for businesses who must address new customs, new rules of origin, regulatory and SPS processes. I know that businesses are of course finding the current competing demands from COVID-19 very difficult, but I would urge everybody to review and to renew their Brexit plans, and if they have not started to do so, to start to do so now. Ceann Comhairle, the withdrawal agreement in the protocol on Ireland and Northern Ireland ensures that we will avoid a hard border on the island and that the gains of the Good Friday Agreement are protected, and also the integrity of the single market and Ireland's place in it are safeguarded. Full implementation of the agreement and the protocol is an EU priority, and Ireland maintains close contact with the task force on this matter. The Joint Committee and the Specialised Committees have met on one occasion each. The Joint Committee will meet again tomorrow, and Ireland will again be represented. On the 20th of May, the UK published its own approach to implementing the protocol. The paper has some positive elements to it, and I welcome the clear recognition for the need for checks on agri-foods entering Northern Ireland and for the new border control post infrastructure. However, the paper is vague on other important issues such as customs, tariffs and VAT. What we need now is for the UK to provide the technical detail necessary to make the protocol fully operational by the end of this transition period, by the end of the year. Progress on implementation will provide certainty not just to citizens but also to business. It will create the confidence that we need across the EU to try and build our future partnership. Ceann Comhairle, it's now time to take stock of the overall negotiations. It's very clear from recent contacts with my EU counterparts that the EU remains united in our support for the chief negotiator, Michel Barnier. I believe that the two sides can reach an agreement. However, it's still important for us to prepare for the changes that January will inevitably bring. Brexit is not just a business matter either. Individuals need to understand how Brexit impacts their lives, and so we will continue our public outreach to inform and to advise citizens. It is, however, maybe worth reaffirming that the common travel area will be maintained in all circumstances. The closest possible relationship between the EU and the UK is clearly in Ireland's strongest interests. So too is a strong Ireland-UK relationship. The high level of engagements around COVID-19 further highlighted to all of us the importance of working together. I remain and our team remain committed to enhancing this relationship in all areas. The Oireachtas' approach to Brexit has been consistent across all parties. We understood early on the challenges that Brexit would bring to this island as we face into the next phase. Ceann Comhairle, this support remains vital. Thank you.